everyone, it's Christian from the Calcio Bros, and with Serie A commencing this weekend, thought it'd be a good time to talk about the opening fixtures and as well predictions for this upcoming season. So let's start off with the games being played out Saturday, Sunday, and the one game on Monday. So opening up this weekend is Parma Juve at 12 p.m. this Saturday. The reigning champions want to open up strong. Buffon probably not going to play, but it would be good to see him play against his former team at the Tardini. Again, he has 8 games he has to play in his contract in order to beat Maldini's record. Not sure if he'll play against Parma there, but we'll see when he decides to play. Later on in that day at 2:45, we have Fiorentina Napoli, and that for sure will be a big game considering all the new additions Fiorentina have made to their team. Just recently signing free agent Frank Ribéry, and that is such an excellent signing. Him on one wing, Chiesa on the other, someone he can really learn from. I'm excited to see Fiorentina because of all the additions they made, and they are coming off again being bought from Rocco Commisso over the summer, so there's going to be a lot of work for them to get themselves back up. They want to fight for the Europa League spots. They want to start off strong against Napoli. And then Napoli themselves just purchasing Chucky Lozano, who's a great Mexican winger, recently coming over from PSV Eindhoven. He's going to bring a lot of experience, and that's what Napoli need. Experience, depth, if they want to finally push to topple Juve for the Serie A title. Moving on to Sunday's games, midday, no 9 a.m. games just yet. So midday game is between Udinese and Milan. Udinese want to have a better season than they did last year. They really struggled, very close to being relegated, but they managed to fight for another year in the top flight. And then Milan looking to make top 4 with all the additions they have made. Again, they have sold quite a few players as well, but they have brought in quality players, young players as well, and with a new coach in Marco Giampaolo, it'll be interesting to see how his tactics are able to revolutionize Milan and trying to get back into the glory days. Both teams want to start off strong, but let's see who gets to that. Now, several 2:45 games. Roma Genoa, Cagliari Brescia, Sampdoria Lazio, Spal Atalanta, Torino Sassuolo, Verona Bologna. Roma Genoa, both teams bringing in lots of additions. Roma again want to fight for the top 4 after only getting Europa League last year. Genoa want to do much better after barely just making it out of the relegation zone. They hope their additions can help them out. Newly promoted Brescia taking on a revamped Cagliari, bringing back Nango and Marco Rog. Brescia bringing in Mario Balotelli, his hometown club. So I'm really hoping Balotelli can do very well in Brescia. He's going to be linking up with former Serie B Capocannoniere Alfredo Donnarumma, as well as probably getting the plays from Sandro Tonali. Probably a little reminiscent of Andrea Pirlo and Roberto Baggio back in the day. So maybe we can see something turn out the same way. Only time will tell, but Balotelli always played his best football in Italy, and let's hope he can do that for his side. Sampdoria, Lazio, both teams looking to only small reinforcements as well. Sampdoria looking to probably make Europa League again. Lazio trying to probably fight for that Champions League spot. We'll see if they can get it. Remember, Lazio were the are the current Coppa Italia winners, so they even got automatic qualification there, but they want to fight for more. Spal Atalanta, the Nerazzurri, are looking to have another successful season after finishing 3rd in Serie A last season. That surprised everyone. Their first ever Champions League qualification. They brought in minimal reinforcements, just enough to strengthen their team. They brought in veteran Martin Skirtle, who does have the Champions League experience, to help them out in their group stage matches as well. Hopefully he can bring them to another top 4 finish. They brought in Mario Pasalic, who was great for them last season, and as well veteran Serie A striker Luis Muriel, who is excellent in Serie A and will hope to continue his success for La Dea. Spal had a great season last year. Andrea Petagna scoring many goals. He had about 15-16 goals. Star player. They did lose out on Alaxity, but they probably have enough just to get themselves up there again. Time will tell. Again, and there's still lots of time left in the transfer market. Torino Sassuolo. Torino just got into Europa League because of Milan's exclusion, but they hope to actually get in this time around on their own merit without having anyone taken out. They again brought in Ole Aina, and they also kept Jadidi, I believe that's how you say his name, not too sure. But they will look to from their veteran players, their strong players, leaders such as Andrea Bellotti, Armando Izzo, Sirigu, to help them finish in that top 6. So look out for them. They can be someone's dark horse as well. Sassuolo probably looking at staying safe this year again. Not sure if they'll trouble much for a Europa League spot. Mocha, they can probably cause trouble to a few people. Verona, Bologna, newly promoted. Hellas Verona looking at trying to stay safe again this year, not trying to go back down. They reinforce their squad as best they can. Let's see if it's good enough. Bologna as well, strengthening their team, hoping they can stay up as well. Lots of time still left, about another couple weeks in the transfer market, so some of these smaller teams are probably still looking for those minor deals in order to bring in experience, talent, anything just to stay up. The last game of the day takes place on Monday at 2:45 is Inter Lecce. Lecce, again, another newly promoted team who brought in some players as well, such as Lapadula, Dell'Orco, Rispoli. So some of they hope to have experience from those players, help their team stay in the first division. It's maybe pulling up an upset at the San Siro against Inter. I doubt Inter will let them do that. They just brought in a strong strike in Romelu Lukaku. They're going to look at players like Sensi and Barella to help them out. Lautaro Martinez as well. And who knows if Icardi is he'll probably still be there. Well, for this opening game, because it's still a little too early to sell him, but who knows what they're going to do with him. So Inter won again to fight for the title, but I'm not sure if they're there just yet. So now with that, the fixtures released, some intriguing games for sure. So let me know who you guys are, like which game you guys are most looking forward to. I definitely just want to see Mario Balotelli play, but I do want to see my Milan side win their opening fixture against Udinese. So a lot to consider. So now I'm going to go on to my standings prediction. This is always a little bit on and off. It's hard to say where anyone's going to finish, only if you're very, very certain with certain teams. So usually the hardest is the bottom. Maybe I would say top 4. Even the middle, it's still all over the place. Right? So I did my best guess to guess a little bit, but as well put in who I felt will finish where. So let's get right to it. Starting from the bottom, I have newly promoted Lecce. Yes, they reinforced their team with Serie A players. Again, like I said, Lapadula, Dell'Orco, Rispoli. I still don't feel it's enough to secure them another year in the top flight, and that's why I have them finishing in the bottom. Just above them is another newly promoted team, is Hellas Verona. Again, I don't feel they have the quality to stay up and secure themselves another year of top flight football. Anything could happen. I know they did bring in experienced midfielder Amrabat. They have players Ajapong and Badu, but are these the players that they need to help secure themselves in the top flight football? I don't think so. So that's why I feel they're going to be the second team going down. The last team I have going down, this one was a little tougher because there are so many more options. Or it's harder to choose from because I do feel other lower teams did strengthen their team a little bit more. But I felt the third team going down will be Parma. They almost got relegated last year. They started off well, but then that huge slump near the middle of the season almost cost them. They did bring in players such as Caramo, Grassi, Colombi. They did re-sign Inglese, but is that, again, enough to secure them top flight football? I don't think so. They do have a solid team, like Caramo and Gervinho on both wings, even Biabiani, but with a striker like Inglese, he's not a bad striker, but I don't think he's one to keep you safe. So this one was hard for me to put there. I know they had the fairy tale story coming from Serie D back to Serie A, but I see them going back down unless they can make something happen in the last few days of the Calcio Mercato. Just above them, I have Brescia. I don't see them going down. They have lots of talent, and again, like I said, Mario Balotelli coming back to them, and if he can link up well with Donnarumma and Sandro Tonali, I could definitely see them staying up, and it's because of Super Mario that they will be staying up. So that's a team to look out for. I feel they will stay up, and those players are the reason why. Above them, I have Sassuolo. They have come a long way since making it into the Europa League, but I don't think they will have enough to secure themselves any higher. They got lucky. I feel not lucky, but they did struggle a bit. They were a few points out of the relegation, only 5 points out of the relegation spot. So it probably be another tight race unless they can pick themselves up and stay out of there. At 16th spot, I have Genoa. Now Genoa again just barely made it out last year because Empoli lost their game against Inter, and then the head-to-head they won over it. But I feel they reinforced their team enough that they'll be a little more away from the drop zone. They brought in experienced players, shown. They brought in Christian Zapata from Milan. They brought in Riccardo Saponara, who's a great player as well. He can bring a lot. They brought back Antonio Barreca after he spent his time at Monaco. So they did improve this team, but I still don't see them staying completely safe, like closer, like up in the table. But they'll still be near the drop zone, but not enough that it'll go down. Then I have Spal, who I had predicted to go down last year, but they really proved me wrong. But I say they'll be around the same spot as last year. They have quality players as well, and especially if Petagna can score again for them, the 15-16 goals, they'll definitely stay away from the relegation zone. Bologna is the next team I have just above them. Again, I feel that they'll stay clear of the relegation and be safe enough where they don't have to struggle too much. They brought in some of their players. They didn't let go too many of their old ones as well. Maybe just like Di Maio, who was probably, I believe, already at Udinese anyways. But I do feel like maybe they'll feel the loss of Donza and Pulgar, but I believe the players they brought in will help them stay clear of the relegation zone. And then I have Udinese, who I did say struggled last season. I feel they will do enough to stay clear, say just under the top 10 spot, and be safe in Serie A next season. At 11th spot, I have Cagliari. Now, I have Cagliari pretty high up, but it's only because they really reinforced their squad again. They brought back Nainggolan, Marco Rog, Mattiello, and Luca Pellegrini, who did play very well at Cagliari last season. They brought him back after Juventus just bought him. So they brought back players who are talented, experienced, and can really help their team. So again, after the loss of Barella, they brought in Nainggolan, who made his name at Cagliari, and Marco Rog, who never got the playing time at Napoli, but there is talent there. Him and Nainggolan in that midfield will definitely help them push up the standings and remain safe for another season. Now at 10th spot, I have Sampdoria. It is lower than what I had them last year, and it's just a spot under what they finished last season. So it's relatively close how I feel their team will be. Maybe they'll pull a few surprises, and it depends again if Quagliarella can finish as a top scorer, if all his goals come for him. But I guess they can't really always rely on him, especially he's 36. So how long can he keep going for? He's aged like fine wine for sure, but can you really keep it up, scoring another 20-something goals? And can they get a lot of support from their team? They picked up Jason Murillo, who did play for Inter, had experience at Valencia and Barcelona, so that will tighten up their back line. But is it enough to secure them? It's tough to tell, but they do have a good goal in Alderdo, and I do feel they will play well. Now, entering in the top 10, I have Torino. To me, it's only because they haven't made many additions to their team. So, they do have a lot of the same players, but they didn't really bring in more players. Especially if they do end up qualifying for Europa League, they have to play their third qualifying round. So it's up to, if they make the Europa League, they have another competition to partake in. So that means more players, more depth. But I feel they didn't do enough to enter in the top 6, top 7 race. Above them, I have Atalanta, who Okay, this one was iffy because I know they brought in some talented players, but they did also let go of a lot of players as well. They did let go of Mancini. They let go of Berisha. They let go of some other players as well. So, and especially that they've never played in a Champions League or any Euro. Well, I don't know if they played in Europa League. To me, I'm probably still too young to even remember that. But a competition such as the Champions League, they've never played in that high level of intensity before. They didn't bring a lot of players in. So I feel they may struggle with all those other extra games, and it depends how well they can start off. If Duvin Zapata can pick it up afterwards too, like he did, maybe they'll have a chance. With Papu Gomez and Muriel, who knows? But right, I don't feel they'll do as well as and be as successful as they had been last year. So that's why I just have them shy of top 7. Now entering into the Europa League qualifying round, I have Fiorentina, and they do have the talent to maybe go even farther. But I'm going to put them in just because of all the new additions under new ownership. Again, like I said, they brought in Frank Ribéry. Now they brought in Pulgar. They're going to be playing Dragowski, who had an excellent season with Empoli last season. So look for him to really keep La Viola in the game. They brought in defenders of like Paulo Lirola, brought back Milan Bendelli. Even experienced players such as Boateng could probably help them out as well. And if they can make maybe 1 or 2 more signings, they could probably finish higher than 7th. But right now, as I see things, I have them just entering the Europa League. Now, for the 6th place spot, I have Roma. I have them finishing here and not higher just because they do tend to struggle a little bit. I feel they do have a better squad than last year. You know, they just brought in Zappacosta. They brought in Spinazzola, a great goalie in Paulo Lopez. But I feel they'll just do enough to get them in there. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to secure them any higher because they do tend to falter a little bit. But I feel they will look to those players for experience. And again, they did just lose Daniele De Rossi, so that was a big loss for them. Losing Nzonzi, another big body in midfield. Even losing Kostas Manolas in defense. Such a strong defender was so hard to lose, and especially you could have had someone partner him rather than replace him, then it would have worked out better, because now you have Mancini replacing Manolas and partnering with Faucio, which to me isn't the greatest, but a lot of work to be done there, and Veretout is no replacement for De Rossi, so that's why I have them at 6th spot. Now with entering the 5th spot, I have Lazio. I feel they have enough to get them in there. They brought in a good experienced player as Lazzari, who was very successful with Spal and many other like lesser known players, but who knows if they could probably make a difference, right? So far they've managed to hang on to Milinkovic-Savic, who has been the best thing right now. You do have a good player in Strakosha. Ciro Immobile always does well and scores in Serie A when needed. And Correa, exceptional player, can definitely bring more to the team as well. So look for them to maybe be fighting for top 4, but I feel they still will fall shy of it. Now entering the Champions League race, there's only 4 teams left, so maybe you guys have an idea of who I have. Once again, I have Milan finishing in the top 4. I know they just were shy last season, just 1 point shy, but I feel this year they can do it. Bring in young players with talent as well, and under the tactics of Marco Giampaolo, I feel they can do it this year. They have had the summer to spend, get in the players they need. I know they're working on getting the deal finished for Angel Correa, so let's see if that becomes anything, because he would be a great striker to partner with Piontek after they sold Cutrone, because I don't think Andre Silva will start unless he leaves. They do need another addition to their team, and I do feel Milan will finish top 4 and Champions League is where they need to be. 3rd spot, I have Inter, who last season I had as 2nd, who ended up finishing 4th. This year I feel like they do have players. Again, like they brought in Lukaku, they brought in Barella, Sensi, Godin. They have players, but they have tended to struggle, and I'm not sure if they will have it. They do have talent, but it depends how well they'll do and how well Conte will be able to organize them. I know with their issues with Icardi, that doesn't help. It's tough to say because, you know, Inter can play good, but then they can lose out to anyone. So, but they do have the talent to battle even for the for second spot, maybe even first, depends. But I feel they will finish third this season. Second, I have Napoli, and I had them at third last season. They finished second once again, and especially with newer additions, I feel they'll go even further and challenge Juve more for the Serie A title and not be as much of a distance as it was last season. And finally, unfortunately, I do have Juventus winning again, and who knows if it may be another team this year. But right now, I still feel they have enough talent to secure themselves, I believe it's a 9th consecutive Serie A title. I do feel it'll be a closer match than it previously has been in other a more competitive season, especially considering all the talent that's come in with other teams. But I still feel that, again, they brought in Ramsey, Rabiot, Dolit, Danilo. They brought in plenty of players to help them secure that. I know they want the Champions League. That's their main competition they're looking at getting, but they will just edge out Napoli, I feel. But who knows? I could be wrong, but my safe bet would be Juve for this season. So guys, that was quite a long way from the bottom to top. If you guys agree with my predictions, let me know. If you guys have any disagreements, who you guys think may finish where, who you guys may think could be relegated, who could be finish top 6, win the Serie A title. It's very early. Calcio Mercato still has to finish, so there could be some last minute additions to help some of these teams. And again, anything can happen throughout the season. A major injury, you know, these teams could go on a 5-game losing spree. Something can always happen where it can change the course of the season. One match can even change it as well. Look what happened that one season where Napoli beat Juve at the Allianz Stadium. Then they go on to lose to Fiorentina and it cost them the Serie A, the title. Anything happens. So those are my predictions. Let me know where you guys have every team, maybe even just finish top 4, top 6. Totally up to you guys. So just to go on to the final category of predictions, I would just go on to Capocannoniere. Last year, we had plenty of goal scorers, Duvin Zapata, Piontek, Ronaldo, and then Quagliarella ended up winning the title. Not sure if he'll win it this year, but I do feel he'll be up there again. I feel Piontek, playing a full season with Milan, can get even more goals. Ronaldo, after scoring about 20-something goals, maybe can reach for the same heights again. Depends how well he's able to link with his Juve players again. And again, he didn't score till later on in the season. It took him a while to get going. So let's see if he's able to start right off the bat. So keep an eye out for him. And again, there's a lot of players. Muriel, Balotelli, Zapata, Lukaku. Lots of talent to fight for the Capocannoniere. So let me know who you guys have winning that trophy. So that's all for today. Hopefully I covered everything. I'll definitely be try doing as many videos as I can for this coming season. So definitely stay tuned for what I have in store. Let me know what you guys think, who's going to finish where, what you guys think of the opening fixtures, and maybe what else we can see this upcoming year in Serie A. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Calcio_bros. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive all the notifications on our latest videos. We'll hear from you guys soon.